Okay, here's a series of videos that should guide you. Here's a light board, it's behind the curtain. I just kind of touch these up a little bit. It seems like the cameras are pretty good in terms of lighting. So I just bring the lights up a little bit. This isn't a very critical shoot. If you want to use the microphones that are on the desk, there's 3 of these AKG P70s. You'll notice that they have some color coding on the tape. So here's the green one. This one here happens to be orange, and this mic here happens to be yellow. So over here on the mixing board, you can see green, orange, and yellow. Just got to unmute those puppies. Make sure they are routed to the 1-2 bus. The 1-2 bus is the TriCaster that's in the studio. So this board will send those microphones into the TriCaster. I'll kind of show you where they land. A little better in here. All right. So you'll notice on this Soundcraft mixer, there's something that says Mackie left and Mackie right. These 2 channels right here, those happen to be up right now, and that master fader's up. So that takes in those two channels coming off, or the 3 channels coming off the Mackie in the studio into this room, okay? And where they're actually going is to the TriCaster. So the way you turn the TriCaster on is you take this remote, and this remote's going to turn on those 2 TVs. There, those 2 TVs are on. I recommend that you also turn on this monitor, and the way you turn on this monitor is a rocker switch right here, and rocker it down. When you rocker that down, that turns that monitor on, and after that monitor's on, then the next thing you got to do is turn on the TriCaster. TriCaster is turned on down here, so let the TriCaster come up. While the TriCaster's coming up, let's walk over to this other monitor here. This is another one of those little put monitors with the rocker switch on the back. Rocker it down, and that rocker switch gives you access to the camera view that's out on the floor, right? So here's obviously the pan, tilt, and zoom controls for the cameras. My suggestion is I would only use camera number 3, and the way you get cameras onto the monitor that's right here, this little put monitor, is through this router. This router is called QC1, that's the name of this router. So down on the bottom of this router is the destination, and the source right now is the top row. Since the source right now is camera 3, I'm going to change it. Here's camera 1, here's camera 2, and here's camera 3. What I'm doing is I'm just touching these buttons right here, and that routes whatever's current to this destination, which happens to be QC1 right now. So right now what we're doing is we're seeing camera 3, and if I go to the board here, this camera controller, and I hit 3, right, that will let me then move camera 3, focus, and move it around. So when the TriCaster boots, it will automatically load the last session that was played. If that happens, just file exit out of that session. You'll notice that I've created a session called Storytelling Sessions _00. It's about 4 up from what's currently highlighted right now. Storytellers Sessions _00. I'm going to mouse up to that, select that one. That one's now selected. And when I select it, all I have to do is hit Start Live Production, which is right there. I'm going to hit Start Live Production, click on that, and it will load the template that I've created for this story session. You'll see it's going to pop up, and I've built the 3 screens for this already for you. So the 3 screens will basically have the 4 cameras in the top left, all the inputs. So there's all the inputs, the 4 cameras, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm going to suggest you mostly use camera 3, and by the way, those will correspond to what shows up here on the switcher, the physical switcher. In a few moments, once the project fully loads, it will activate the switcher. It should happen any second here. Anyways, I'll just kind of go up to the right screen. The right screen shows you the big box on the left is your preview, and on the left, the big box on the right is your program, and program is what's actually getting recorded. And I'll show you what the recording looks like in just a second. Anyways, so now the board is actually loaded. So it takes the board a couple seconds to load. There it is. And if I turn off all of the lights here, you'll be able to see the board a little better. Sorry for moving around while the camera is on. All right. So you'll be able to see the board a little better now. All right, there you go. So you notice that right now camera 1 is in the program, which is why you see that right there. So that right there is camera 1. And I'm also showing program on this lower monitor, the lower little put monitor. I'm going to switch to camera 3, which again is the camera that I recommend. I'm going to put camera 3 in program by hitting that. Notice when I do that, boom, there's camera 3, and camera 3 is now in program, and that's what's going to be recorded. And the way we record, believe it or not, we don't hit the record button. Up here on the top of the TriCaster, you'll see there's a stream encode and a record replay button. We use the stream encode button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mouse up to that. I'm on the stream encode. By the way, if I hit the gear, I'm going to show you that I've already named a file called file capture exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, story underscore tellers underscore 00 underscore. So I've already given it a file name, right? So it's already ready for you to record. I'm going to hit close right now, close in that box. And when I click on the stream encode button up here, I'm going to click on that stream encode button. What's going to happen, it's going to start recording what is in the program. And right now what's in program, according to this switcher, is camera 3. That's being confirmed by what's going on this little put monitor and what's showing up in that right-hand corner. Now, I don't hear any audio right now because this little silver dot here is what controls the audio in this control room. So if I turn it up, you're going to start hearing it. So it's pretty hot. So that's the audio coming from those 3 microphones. And right now, the way this is running is those kids can just sit at that desk and just tell their story. And because the fact that stream encode up there is blue, it is recording into the TriCaster. And when it's done, when they're done out there, you can just let it run. They're going to post-produce these. When it's done, just hit stream encode again, and it'll stop it. Okay, so now it's done recording. In a second, I'll show you what that file looks like. I just want to show you how you close the session. Up at the top here, you're going to hit File, Exit, up at the top. I know it's kind of small, File, Exit. And it says, are you sure you want to exit in the center of the screen? Right there in the center of the screen, I'm going to say yes, exit. This is assuming I'm going to shut down the TriCaster. Once you get this far, if you want to shut down the TriCaster, you can go to this gray chevron over here, hit the gray chevron, and there's shutdown. I'm going to click on shutdown for a second. Instead of shutting down the TriCaster, I'm going to select administrator mode. That's right here. And administrator mode lets me exit the windows. All right, I'm now exiting the windows. And now I can use File Explorer and I can go find that file that we just recorded. Here we are looking at the File Explorer. And if I go to, I gotta find this now. I think it goes to Media, Sessions, Captures. And if you'll notice, Media Sessions Captures, I'm gonna show you that again. It's D:/Sessions /4 captures. There's the file. Storytellers that we just recorded. It's an MP4 file. If I right click on it, VLC is going to play it. And of course, you're not going to see very much. There's VLC playing it right now, but it's just what we recorded a moment ago. In fact, you can see the progress bar down the bottom of the video. That's VLC playing that. There's nobody there. If there was audio and so on, it would be there. And what I'm going to eventually do is I'm going to set a box folder up and just copy that file up to box so that a student that works in that office can edit those files. And there is quick and dirty how to use the TriCaster. So you can do Alt F4 to get out of this Windows session and shut down the TriCaster. And if you do that, just reverse all the things that we did. Turn off the screens. When you're totally done with this, the TriCaster will go off. You can turn off these 2 little put monitors by that rocker panel in the back. You can lower the faders on the Mackie mixer in the studio. And then you can turn the lights down, and that should be the whole thing. This computer right here is called Guest Panel. The keyboard that's underneath that screen is actually running it. This is a PowerPoint thing, so I'm just going to take this to full screen and hold on, let's send this to the make a full screen. So now I got a step and repeat that's on this PowerPoint. And that is what's actually driving the big screens and all the screens in the production studio, this PowerPoint right here. So I thought we would just have Duquesne University behind the students, okay? So again, this screen is pushing that out there, and there's the PowerPoint. Anyways, this physical router is what's determining that. You notice this thing here says front, I don't know if you can read these. This says front set, rear set. The rear set is the big screen behind the desk. The front set is the 42 or 50-inch screen in front of the desk. And then cart 1 and cart 2 are the screens that are on wheels out there. And so right now, this thing called guest panel, I'll take it off, this guest panel, which is the PowerPoint source, is going to all 4 of those TV screens in there. Front set, rear set, cart 1 and cart 2. What I sometimes do when people are sitting at the white desk is I want them to see themselves on the cameras or on the 2 carts out there, the 2 wheeled carts. So I'll hit cart 1 on the bottom destination and hit program 1 on the source, and I'll hit cart 2 on the destination and program 1 on the source. And what that will do is, if you see this screen right here, that screen that has the 3 chairs and the PowerPoint behind it, if you'll notice on the 2 wheeled screens that are out here, that now is being routed to these screens. So this screen right here is cart 2 on the left side, and cart 1 is the screen over on the right side. And that just makes it more fun for the kids when they're sitting behind the desk. They can actually see themselves live on the screen. So again, typically the source of that router is, the bottom is always destination, and the top is always source. So the way I usually leave it is I leave cart 1, I'll set this as cart 1 right now, I'll leave the source as guest panel, and cart 2 I leave the source as guest panel. But when I have somebody in the studio that wants to actually see them, I'll hit cart 1 and change it to program 1, and cart 2 program 1. And again, that will send out to those screens what is currently going on program on the TriCaster. And that's kind of fun and certainly more interesting for the kids.